Oh yeah. Let's go. Podcast flow. You already know. Sneakers in the NBA, the NFL for show. Me and Langston got it locked. Got the podcast, now we coming on through, we boxing out, we everlast. A day in our kicks, a day in our kicks, a day in our kicks. You gon' have to listen to it. A day in our kicks, a day in our kicks, a day in our kicks. You gon' have to listen to it. Sneakers on lock, NBA on lock, got that NFL on lock. We got that music on lock, we never ever gon' stop. He up in the NBA, I be reporting, I do what I say. Everybody know how we get it, eh? Hold up, killing the flow, getting the flow, getting the money, you already know. We gon' be coming on through for the city. We tryna do our thing, you just like Diddy.
Yes, sir. We back. A day in our kicks. What's up, Langston?
What's going on? Day in our kicks. We back in there. Y'all tuned in. What's going on?
Not much, man. How's everything? Season's going good?
Season's going great. We're making this playoff push, taking it one game at a time. Right now in the 7th seed, so we're looking good. What about you guys? I know I've been following it, but hey, you got the inside scoop. What's going on? See,
hey man, right now we looking good, man. We gotta keep it going, man. We gotta keep the foot on the gas, man. PG and Russ both been carrying the squad all year, man. Especially with PG. He's had a crazy year as far as an MVP caliber year, and then you got Russ, with the averaging of the triple double still going on. So I think they got a lot of pieces, man. We added Markieff Morris, since the last time we had the show.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Dennis Schroeder's been balling. A lot of key pieces. Jeremy Grant's been stepping up. So it's really interesting, man. We'll see what's going on. We're gonna try to make some noise, just like Detroit.
Hey, well, let's get right into it. I want to ask, from the media aspect of it, with OKC right now.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest thing going forward for you guys? Like, what can you guys either do better or try to continue to be constant with? Because I mean, you see last year you guys were kind of in the same predicament, but a little bit lower last year. And, and then you lost out to the Utah Jazz in the first round. What's some constants that you guys can look forward to and try to build on going forward?
I think it's all about confidence. The confidence is the main thing. You play confident, I feel like this group can do anything, and it starts on the defensive end. The crazy part is the Thunder are top 5 in defense, and they don't even have Andre Robertson back yet. You know what I'm saying? So,
is he gonna come back this year?
I mean, there's still optimism. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're not closing the door, and they're trying to keep some hope alive. The crazy thing is, Utah caught us last year, and Donovan Mitchell, nobody was able to really stop that because P was trying to score, but at the same time, he would have to come back on the other end. He wasn't used to doing, the score and defend.
Right.
Because he had Robertson there, and then Robertson got hurt. And then after that, it was kind of like we didn't know what kind of angle to go with in the playoffs. And then we had Melo last year as well. A lot of people forget about that. So we got a different squad this year. And I think it's all on defense. We got 2 ball hawks. We got 2 of the top 3 steal leaders in the league on the same team. They hit those passing lanes. I think that actually starts off the transition because that defense automatically leads to fast break points. So as long as they continue to get in those lanes and lock up defensively, I think that the defense, they pride themselves on that. So I think the defense will set the tone. And then offensively, we got a better second unit. We didn't have Schroeder last year. We added Markieff Morris. We got some key pieces. So for me as a media member, I'm more so looking to see what they're going to do as far as gelling going into the playoffs. So this last little stretch right here is going to tell me a lot that I need to know because automatically, I mean, it's the regular season. Like you said, we had a good regular season last year, and then we got bounced out in the first round by Utah. So a lot of people, are saying, oh, well, OKC still got the same squad or whatever like that. Are they going to get bounced around again? Or is it one of those where they're just good in the regular season but then can't get it done in the playoffs? So I'm just looking forward to how the team reacts. I mean, we swept the Jazz this year 4-0, so we would love to see them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those situations where it's an all out battle with those two teams. But overall, like I said, defense. This team prides itself on defense. So if they can set the tone defensively, offensively, I think the sky's the limit. Especially the way PG and Russ been playing. They both been playing at MVP caliber levels, and it's been special to cover. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You see
They,
you see two young African American brothers out there giving it their all and making history on a nightly basis and doing things that haven't been done ever. You know what I'm saying? Westbrook will be the first player in NBA history to average triple double 3 seasons in a row. So
yeah.
I mean, just being able for me to be in that position to actually watch that history and just be around that organization, I think is really huge and key. So like I said, offensively, they're gonna be good no matter what. It's the tone that they set defensively. Are you gonna set that hard screen and go through that? Are you gonna fight through those picks? Are you gonna it's the small stuff, the hustle plays, the offensive rebounding. Those are things that they do good and they've been doing it good in the regular season, but I want to continue to see it in the postseason moving forward. So that's my biggest thing I'm looking forward to from a media standpoint. I think overall, chemistry wise, I think that locker room is so loose. You know what I'm saying? They laughing, giggling, listening to music. They actually are. It's like a brotherhood there. You know what I'm saying? Russ and
Right.
PG, they laughing, they cracking jokes, this, that, and the third, and they got each other's back. So that's the biggest thing. But
Yeah.
you know,
I give that this year. This year's
yeah,
I really seen a transformation from Russ, especially playing against those guys. You can really see where like Russ is kind of deferring to PG, where he's like, all right, he's gonna still get him, but at the same
yeah,
time, it's like he wants to be able to be the best like player for them on the floor to like help them win games. Like he knows that him shooting all the balls, him doing everything is not going to like kind of transition into wins. He
mm-hmm,
knows he has to like, all right, I got to do more than just score the ball. So like this is probably the best Russ I've seen like overall, like an all around game for
yeah.
him for his career. Real great to see, and I think that going forward, if he can continue to do this, y'all might see a long playoff push for sure.
Yeah, the best thing about it is he's deferring, like you said. He's letting PG shine because now we're seeing the best PG we've seen because
Yeah, yeah.
he got career highs and everything.
Yes, since before the injury. I mean, if you really think about it, like he got injured, he broke his like his leg, like,
Yeah,
and he's back on the floor, like showing you, hey, look, I'm back. I'm back. I'm out here hooping, and people really forget that. Like he looked like what that was 3-4 years ago,
yeah, yep,
and it's like he's already back out there like hooping now. Like the first 2 years after that, it was just like, all right, let me just try to get my rhythm back. Let me just try to like not go too hard, but just kind of ease into it. And then now he's like, okay, all right. He's out there doing windmills. He out here like cocking it back, like dunking,
yeah,
like he's out there ferocious. He's out there just showing like, hey, look, I really do this. I'm back.
yeah.
So it's a good sight to see. I'm really glad for him, and I'm glad for OKC to see that organization thriving right now.
Definitely, definitely. What do you think you guys need to do on the Pistons to make that defensive, but not the defensive push? I was about to say defensive push, but defense obviously wins championships. But
Right, right.
I was gonna say, what do you guys have to do to make that playoff push to get back to that '04 Pistons level of just getting Detroit jumping again like they did back then with Richard Hamilton and all those guys. Y'all got to make that playoff push, man, because the city definitely needs it, and I feel like the city's behind you all as well.
Yeah, nah, it's been great, man, having the fans come out every single night. Early on in the season kind of was like up and down, but lately like the fans have really been showing up and really a part of this playoff push for us. So it's
Hmm.
really been paying dividends with like we played the Raptors the other day at home and like that. I mean, it was mostly like Raptors fans there, but at the same time it's just like knowing that all right, we go out here, beat the Raptors, beat a couple good teams. Like all right, our fans they're gonna show up. They're gonna show up
Yeah.
and be ready to cheer for us. So
Hmm.
Um, I think the biggest thing for us is just going out there and playing as a team. Like Blake and Andre have been playing. I mean, hey, on a whole nother level lately. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Andre's been boarding everything out there. So
Yeah,
when we had those two clicking really well, I mean, we're really tough to stop. Really tough to stop. And then especially with our bench unit, we've been just gelling. I mean, having Ish out there, really changing the pace with Jack doing his thing. It's really a great sight to see for us as a unit. Like knowing, like, all right, if we go out there and play team ball and play for each other, we're gonna be a tough out. We're gonna be a really tough out, and it's showing. It's starting to show every single game. And last night we had a tough one. We lost the Brooklyn Nets, but it happens. It happens with those type of nights.
yeah, definitely. In Brooklyn, they ain't no pushover no more. They're actually in that playoff contention and stuff like that, and making those pushes. And D'Angelo Russell's growing too. You know,
Yeah,
and he
no,
was an All Star this year. He's definitely putting the work in. So
yeah,
a couple years
yeah.
ago, that would have been one of those. Oh man, we blew it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, yeah,
So, but this year they're making some noise. So it is what it is. But I want to let you get a moment to get some shine. Talk about your streak that you got going right now, and just how you're always locked in and ready for the moment.
yeah. No, it was it's sad to say, but it's over now. But
Oh yeah, but talk about it though. You still
yeah, no, it was
this?
it was it was it was a great moment. To have 12 consecutive threes made in the last, it was 3 game over a 3 game span. And man, I mean, I was just locked in, just out there. My teammates were finding me in good spots, and just in a really good rhythm, really good rhythm. Been in the gym, just staying after my craft and trying to get better, sacrificing. So um, really just excited to see us go forward from here, because we got a really good shot to really prove a lot of people wrong, and try to upset somebody in the first round. So uh,
Definitely.
yeah, it's exciting to see, and to be, especially for me, to be a part of like this run. I haven't been to the playoffs yet. It's my 5th year in the league, and I haven't been to the playoffs. I'm like, hey, I
Yeah,
gotta get in there. I gotta get in there. So that's
you gotta get there.
that's my only focus, is just like getting into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, every year I'm rooting for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for Detroit. Detroit's ever since Reggie left, man, because Reggie's my guy.
Yeah,
And ever since because when I first came to OKC, me and Reggie clicked because we had that Boston College. He already knew about my city, so we kind of just had that gel where we automatically just clicked, and he knew anytime I talked to him, I wasn't trying to bash him in the media or anything like that. I was just trying to do my job, but at the same time grow that relationship that we got and continue to make it grow. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I definitely, ever since he went to Detroit, I always wanted to see them win. But then it's special seeing you there now too, because I feel like I got a lot of people that I support on that team, whether it be Blake, Dre. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all the Eastern. Besides my Celtics, y'all the squad that I'm really rooting for and pulling for.
hey, we appreciate all the support. We appreciate it, but we coming, man. We're gonna be an exciting team to watch going forward. These
Definitely.
last these last what 16, 17 games are gonna be real exciting. So I'm excited to take it one game at a time. Make sure you guys tune in, man. Pistons, we on uprise. We on
Yes,
uprise.
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Definitely are. Definitely are.
yeah,
Now, obviously, the NBA was definitely all over the news and stuff from what happened with Westbrook.
right.
Um, I know we touched on this previously in a couple of shows, but now that it got to that point, um, just talk about what you saw from your point of view as an NBA player, and do you stand with the NBA players that stood up for that situation, as far as somebody that's been talked to down upon from fans, and just shed your light on that from your point of view, just being in that position that like a Westbrook would have been, as you would have been where Westbrook was at.
Yeah, nah, you this is a great question. Great question right here. I actually, like, I was just talking about this with one of my teammates today, and I'm just like, I don't understand why like the fans can be, not saying they be so close to us, but like I just feel like they just say whatever they want. It's just like it's tough to, like, as a player and as a human being, you would never want nobody to like talk bad about your family, talk bad about like just anything that's going on in your life, or it could be like in the Westbrook situation is like kind of racist comment. Is like,
Yeah.
I know everybody's gonna say he's in the wrong because he shouldn't have even been listening. He shouldn't have been answering back. But it's tough to always like they say, like the Martin Luther King quote is like, just turn the other cheek and keep on moving forward. It's tough to do that in a game scenario because it's just like it's like you're already like, number one, you're already worried about the game. If you're losing the game, then you're even more like just like in your head, like, man, I really want to answer back to this dude because I'm frustrated with losing, or it's like you could be amped up and just say, man, I might just fire back at this guy, and it's like then it just becomes a bigger thing than what it should be, and I think it just Russell's caught up in a tough situation.
Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, some of the stuff that was said, supposedly said, and everything like that. I mean, I would, me being a reporter, I'm coming at your neck. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, like now in the back, like, all right, when you see something like that, I mean, I know like most reporters aren't sitting right there by that situation.
Yeah,
but in a scenario like that, the first question you're gonna try to ask him is what? Like, what are you gonna try to see if you can escalate him as a reporter, or are you gonna try to like help him out? Like, hey, look, we saw like some of the video, like, sorry to hear about that, but like, what, like, how do you try to, like, as a reporter, like, kind of like play both sides of the fence for that?
yeah. For me, I mean, I'm not about the clickbait like that. If it happens, you know, clickbait, it happens. But I'm not trying to force it. I think the biggest thing is to be able to be in that situation with him and just embrace that moment, because at the end of the day, I'm a young African American just like him. So I want to be able to let him know that I'm putting myself in your shoes, but I'm not exactly, but I'm still respecting the fact that it did happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So I would put myself in his shoes and think of what would be the best way to come at that. And Westbrook's the type of person where he wants to make sure that people understand him and respect him, and I would come at him respectfully. I think the biggest thing I would want to know is what
do you think he's wrong? Do you think, like, in your opinion, like, if you're not a reporter, you're not involved in none of this, you're just a fan, was Westbrook in the wrong? I'm not going. I don't want you to answer just yes or no. Like, is he in the wrong?
I would say no.
No. All right. And then, all right, if you're a judge, like, if it says it was to go to, like, I don't know, if it was to go to court or something like that, and you're looking at it, like, the video, you don't have the video of the guy saying what he said. You're just getting the evidence from Russ, and then you're going back to the guy, and he's saying a whole different other story with what he's saying compared to what Russ is saying.
Yeah.
But you also have Russ's teammates saying, like, hey, look, this is what the guy said. I was sitting right there. I could hear everything he was saying. Like, what side are you taking right there as a judge?
I think the evidence backs itself up too. The guy had a lot of tweets and previously, you know, in the last year or so, talking about Russ and talking about, oh, I was, you know, I think he threatened him pretty much and was like, said he would hit him or something like that in the tweet. And then you know, he was talking about he called somebody the N-word in another tweet. So I would look at a lot of those tweets, and I still hold that against that guy. The only thing that I think Russ was wrong about that could still get him in trouble or would have got him in trouble was
with the girl.
Yeah, with the wife part.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing. But I mean, for me, I know if somebody talks about my family and they're disrespecting they're not coming at my game. See, the thing is, fans, they feel like they're obligated. You know what I'm saying? And the NBA lets them because they're enabled, because they're the closest in any professional sport. NBA, right there with the fans. You know what I'm saying? So
they pay the money. They
Exactly.
pay our salaries. They pay our salaries. So
Exactly.
it's tough to like say, all right, well, they shouldn't be able to allow to say nothing. It's like we can't do that.
Yeah. And that's the problem, because my thing is the fans are so close that they're a part of the situation. But my thing is, if you're talking about my game, if you're talking about Westbrook's game, you saying he sucks or whatever like that, that's cool because that's within the game. But when you start talking about family and stuff like that, that's when that's when it's all out the window at that point. Because now
Right.
you're coming at me and my family, you're coming at me as a man. And especially what Westbrook said, he said that, oh, get on your knees like you used to.
Like, come on now.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on with that foolishness. I'm getting riled up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So as a reporter, it's just I would ask him, I would be like, I would let him get his story across, but I would also want to ask him what was said to him. Um, but at the same time, I would want him to explain how the NBA could make it better, and try to talk to him about what could have fixed that situation moving forward, because he could have easily heard the person say whatever and then walked away. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you can do, like you said, turn the other cheek and all the above. But how deep did it get, or how deep did they cut? Because those Utah fans, they despise the Thunder players in general. So you know, I think they're both in the wrong, but at the end of the day, I think Russ was in the right, because the person just was digging way too deep, and you just don't do that. And then on top of that, a lot of the tweets and stuff that he had out. So I just want to, I want to get your thought on that, but also you being in the NBA, have you heard something like that? And what's the worst thing you've heard? You don't have to say where it was at, but what was the worst thing that you heard just playing?
Uh, I've heard a few different like crazy scenarios. I've had one in college where we was playing on the road and
Hmm.
I just man just saying some like just irresponsible stuff. I'm like, come on, man, like this ain't even that's not even basketball. Like you don't why are you even talking about that?
Hmm.
And I'm just like that's first and foremost. I'm like, why? Why? That's what's going through my mind. And then
Hmm.
secondly, I actually had like a similar incident like yesterday in the game. Like we're getting blown out.
Hmm.
I'm already upset. We're finishing the game out. Like, all right, let's finish this game out. Let's get off this court. Let's go home. Let me go to because now we're in Miami now. But
Yeah,
let's just get to Miami. And the guy just going in, and I'm like, yo, like calm down. Like, I know you sitting courtside. I know you feel like you got this like responsibility that you could talk and all that, but come on, man. And so like one instance, I kind of like was like taking the ball out like right by him, and like
yeah.
the dude is like all in my ear. So I like turn around and look at him, and he's like looking at me, and I'm like, man, like it's frustrating because it's like you can't do nothing.
I got you. What's something that you've heard? Like I said, you don't have to say where or anything like that, but what's something that you've heard and you was like, come on, this is uncalled for type of thing?
Nothing really as of lately. But yeah, there's been a few incidents like I mean not trying to badmouth Utah or nothing like that, but I mean I've heard like one or two things from Utah, but
Okay.
I'm not going like blame Utah fans and like that for what's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, nah, I got you. Because
Yeah.
my thing is, I just want to know, if you was in front of Adam Silver now, and if Adam Silver was listening, what do you think is a resolution that can help the players not be able to get in trouble when fans are coming at them, and the fans aren't even being punished? What would you say to Adam?
Uh, I don't know. I feel like just the situation yesterday, just handling it how they did. Like the guy got banned from Utah games.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even though Russ got fined 25,000, it's just like you got to set an example for the other players. I mean, the other fans. Like just you can't be out here talking reckless and then think you're gonna get away with it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my main issue. Or like have like some type of like I don't know, like a camera or something like that on the fans that's in the front rows that's close by the court, or like
Okay.
some type of like audio system where you can hear what they're saying. Just
Yeah.
like because they're the closest to us, so it's like just to hear what they're saying. That's what I feel like.
That's smart right there. Actually, I didn't think about something like that.
Yeah, just like a system, like maybe like where it's like underneath the chairs or whatnot in the front rows, and like
Hmm.
you can hear what's going on, what's being said. That way, like
That makes sense. So then they can have proof, and
yeah,
yeah, that makes perfect sense. Honestly, I actually like that idea, bro. Like honestly, because then that'll automatically nip it in the bud. You'll know who started and instigated it off the rip.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense right there. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, there's my thing is when you look at those situations, I'm just trying to figure out how players can be, how they can be guarded in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you last thing you need is for Malice in the Palace to happen, because Russ go up in there and just go Super Saiyan on the fan. You know what I'm saying? So, because my thing is, what if he did go in the crowd? Then what?
yeah. Then what? It's like, what you gonna do then? You gonna
Exactly.
blame it on Russ? Or you gonna blame it on the fan?
See, and then the biggest thing that I did hate is the fact that he's trying to open a lawsuit on Westbrook over the situation, and then on top of that, like the dude got a whole bunch of clout from the situation.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because I mean, I think one of the news channels like they tweeted, "Oh yeah, we're talking to such and such right now," and put his name out there and stuff, and then now he's getting his 15 minutes of fame right now for no reason.
Wow.
So he's actually it's to the point they were like digging up old tweets and stuff from him and all that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get your thought process on that.
Yep. Yep.
Moving forward. Now,
Yep. I go ahead and get my next topic out there.
yeah, go ahead, bro.
But now what do you think about like the whole? I know we haven't talked about this in a while, but it's been all over the news. This Lakers tanking. Like,
I was
do
just about to bring that up. That's crazy.
yeah. Like, do you think that they're trying to say, all right, let's try to lose a few games to try to get Zion? Or are you saying LeBron is kind of like, hey, I'm gonna try to just like play a few more games and just try to play this rest of the season out and just say just chalk it up.
Yeah, I mean, so crazy because if I'm in the Lakers' shoes, if I'm in Magic and all their shoes, I'm like, all right, we already know Luke might not be here next year.
Right.
Last thing we need is for LeBron to get injured, going into free agency. So if I'm in the Lakers situation, I'm gonna go to him and be like, hey, can we do a little something with like what AD's doing with the Pelicans where he's playing 15 to 20 minutes. We
Right.
ain't doing nothing crazy, and we ain't gonna have you play the back to backs. That's what I would do because the fans are still coming. They're still paying their money, so they'll still see LeBron. But at the same time, you're still trying to protect the player.
Right.
Because it's already a lost cause. The good thing about it, and I think the thing that the Lakers can hold their head on, is the fact when LeBron got hurt, they were fourth seed. When he came back, they were out the playoffs.
Yep.
So if you got a healthy LeBron, no matter what, he's gonna bring you to the playoff contention at least. So it's not LeBron's fault that when he came back, they were out of the playoff race already. It was bad enough when he came back. They were like maybe 3.5, 4 games out. So
Yep.
that's still a lot of pressure that you're putting on somebody, knowing that he's still trying to work back into the mix after that groin injury. You know what I'm saying? So, um, if I was like I said, if I was in their shoes, I'm gonna sit him down and talk to him, be like, hey, look, we'll play you 15, 20 minutes, no back to backs. If we win, that's good. If we lose, we getting another draft asset. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can get somebody in the top 5, top 10, help out, and then we can make that big splash in the free agency like we talked about. That's what I would be telling them right now. But, you know, what do you think of teams, like New York and stuff like that, people feel like they're tanking? What's your whole take on the tanking situation?
I mean, I was kind of a part of it so a personal note for me, it's like when I was in New York,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like the Knicks fans were kind of hoping that we were losing at this point now. So it's like, all right, well, we need to keep losing. But I'm like, hey, I need to try to get a contract. I'm not worried about this losing situation. I got to
Yeah, you trying to get paid. Forget
yeah,
y'all.
I'm trying to get my next contract. Like I can't
Yeah.
worry about what's going on with y'all, like with the organization at that extent.
Yeah, you was playing.
So
You was playing to get that check, man.
yeah. So
That's
I,
crazy.
I just feel like from the tanking aspect is just like it's a great thing for like the team to say, all right, we go ahead and lose this many games and be last place, we're gonna get the number one seed. That's not how it works anymore. Like the lottery system kind of like throws all that out the window. It's like
Yeah,
you'll have more balls in the what is it, the little like lottery system, but it
yeah,
doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter at all. So you really just gotta just hope and pray that hey, you get that number one pick if you're in the last seed. So I just think that they're just trying to stay relevant, but not relevant enough, so that way they're gonna get a top what 5 pick, 10 pick, and then they'll be fine. They'll be able to take that pick and make the most of it, or they could trade up and try to get something better.
yeah. Definitely, definitely. I mean, what was your what was your thought process on Philly when it was when they had the whole trust the process those years when they were tanking? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're telling the fan base, look, we're tanking. We not trying to sell no tickets right now. We trying to have the worst record constantly for the last. That they did that for like 4 seasons straight.
4 seasons straight, yeah. Because I mean, you might have had what, probably about what 70 players come through there.
Yeah, I'm about to say the only two that I could think of that they dropped the ball on was Jaleel Okafor and Michael Carter Williams.
Yeah, yeah,
Those are the only two. Other than that, they kind of hit gold with Ben Simmons, Embiid. I mean, Marco Fultz now is added to that MCW and all them now. Unfortunately, but we
yeah,
still jury's still out on him. Because we don't know what he's gonna do.
yeah. We definitely don't know what he's gonna do because he hadn't even played. Like ever since he got traded, he hadn't even played.
That's the crazy part, man. So but what's your thought process on that with the whole trust the process? Like, do you think that it was fair that an organization can get away with telling telling the fan base like, hey, look, hang in there, or do you feel like as from a competitive standpoint, like, no, we need to keep it going?
No, I think as a owner, if I'm like the owner,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, the fans are gonna be with me regardless of whatever happens with us. But if I'm kind of like out here in the limelight saying, hey, look, I know it's gonna be a tough year for us. Like our main guy is hurt. Hey, look, we're gonna just make sure he stays out. We're just gonna play the guys that are trying to get contracts and trying to like they call up a couple guys to try to let them get a shot, see what
Mm-hmm.
they can do, see if they get a contract, and then go from there. It's like I don't owe the fans like hey look an apology because at the end of the day it's like you watch this team over the whole year, whole span of the season. It's like hey look, either we're gonna be good or we're not, and then once we're not good, let's just go ahead and try to figure it out now.
Yeah, nah, I totally agree with you on that one, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So
what did you I don't mean to switch it up from the tanking, but
that's so good.
what's your just talk about your thought process with Lou Williams, being the all-time leading scorer off the bench and reserve in NBA history. Just talk about that. Obviously, right now with your role in Detroit, just talk about, Lou Will, passing that milestone and what some of your actual goals are as far as your career with it growing.
Yeah, no, I was listening to the interview you had the other day, and I really just have taken two things away from what he talked about into my game. It's like in his head, he was always a starter. It's just that they never gave, not saying they never gave him a shot to start, but he knew whatever he was going to go out there and bust whoever he was playing against because he always felt like he was a starter, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, he was like, he was like, it didn't matter what was going on around him and whatnot. He's like, I feel like I was always the best, like, underground GOAT because I never put nothing out there about my workouts, something like that. I just was out there just hooping, just going out there getting after it. I'm gonna go out there and prove him wrong. And especially being undrafted, that's all I think about all the time is just going there proving wrong, and that sticks with me every single time I'm out there.
Definitely. I mean, watching his game, man. I mean, he's come through OKC and bust us up a couple of times. So I you know what I'm saying. So I see that I see that on a regular. So it's like just seeing him create that milestone that let me know, like, even though I'm not one of those mainstream media people in a lot of people's eyes, there's still other people, that actually are watching what I'm doing. Just like with him, when he gets those extended minutes, just like you, when you get those minutes off the bench and stuff, that's your time to shine. And you don't know who's watching you in those moments. So you got to appreciate those moments and try to make the best of them.
Yeah, no, and that's important because it's like if you don't make the most of the minutes, they just go down, and then you kind of just like end up saying, "Well, shoot, I feel like I did the most what I could do," but it's like, hey, you go always give something more. You always give something more.
Definitely, that's totally true. And the crazy thing is, like, so many people they sleep on the six man, or they sleep on people with bench roles and stuff like that, but they don't understand how key you guys are to the whole situation, to the nucleus. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, once y'all come in, y'all still have a piece of that gel with that chemistry for the team, and it's your job to make sure you continue to keep it going as far as the game flow. So a lot of people don't really they just look at it like, oh, they just riding the bench or whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, you still got a job, and if you perfect your job, then nobody can take none away from you.
Yeah, it's like either you're gonna be out there, and especially as a bench unit, you're like either you're gonna go out there, bring the game back to like a close game,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna try to stretch it. So it's either gonna be a 5 point game you're trying to turn it into a 15 point game, or a 10 point game you're trying to turn it into a 20 point game. So it's
Mm-hmm.
you're always trying to extend the lead, especially as a second unit. You don't ever come out there and have negatives across the board where it's like
Yeah.
if you have
Yeah.
negative time out there, you're not helping the team at all. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember early in the season, like probably about 10 to 12 games, like, man, our second unit has to step up, but we're not gonna be able to make this playoff push. And I feel like from then on, like we've been trying to just go out there and just, hey, whoever their second unit is, we felt like we're better than them, and we're gonna go out there and make you have to put your starters back in there. So that was always our mindset.
Yeah. Last question before we wrap it up. What does it
Yeah.
feel like when the coach is like, no, stay in there, because you just out there performing at a high level, and you're stretching that lead. Just talk about what that means to you as a player, to know that you have confidence from your coach when you're out there. And he's like, no, you keep Lane, keep going, keep rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, just talk about that, man.
Now that's important. That's important because, like I said, it gives you a lot of confidence with when number one he's saying, hey, look, if you guys are stretching the lead from 10 to 20. That's a great sign going forward. It's like, hey, look, we're gonna need y'all down the stretch. So that's number one. That's a huge sign. Number two is it actually sometimes it's not even like the coach that says that. Sometimes it's the player.
That's true.
I've had a couple instances where like starters have like come to, like you can see them walk up to the coach and like about to check in and say, hey, look, coach, look, leave him in, and look, they gonna finish it out. Don't even worry about it, and have just like taken that road. And I mean that's like even more like consideration, especially from like another teammate like doing
Def-
that for.
yeah, definitely.
I
Now
mean,
that
and I,
definitely.
I
I
feel like
know.
you can speak to that too. It's like as a reporter, it's like if somebody is like doing the same story as you, or you're doing the same story as somebody else, like you helping them with like, hey, look, this is what you, if you guys are working on the same like thing, and you guys know that, it's like, hey, look, let's work on this to try to benefit each other, and
Yeah.
that helps out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's rare because I ain't
Right,
trying to help nobody else.
right, right,
I'm trying,
right.
but if it did happen, I'm definitely, I wouldn't mind. Like, there's a lot of reporters that reach out to me across the NBA. Celtics reporters. I mean, Laker reporters, reporters all across the league. They'll be like, hey, how is this player, or how do you go about asking players to this player, or what is he wearing on his feet, or how important is this, or you know what I'm saying? So it's so crazy because like a lot of people make a big deal of like the verified checks and stuff like that, but I'm verified in these locker rooms and I'm verified amongst my peers, and that's all that matters to me.
Yep, yep.
So that's how I look at it. Last but not least, I know a lot of people are gonna want this. So what are your predictions as far as the NBA awards? I don't know if we'll be able to squeeze it in for next time or before the season, but if the awards were given today, who you have as the MVP?
Man, this real tough. This is real
It's
tough.
tough though. It's tough.
I mean, it's for sure it's between PJ, PG, uh, James, and Giannis.
Hmm.
Right now, PG's kind of like slowed up a little bit. I feel like James has kind of slowed up a little bit. Giannis has been the only one that's been consistent throughout the whole season, like doing the same numbers all season long,
Hmm.
rebounding the same way. And then you got to think about it too. He has his team, the number one team in the East.
That's true.
And you know what? I think they had a top like ranking this month. I think they like the number one team in the power ranking. So
Yeah.
if it's top today, I feel like they would definitely give it to Giannis for sure, for
Okay.
sure. I
Okay.
mean, you tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I mean, I
I
know
mean,
you
for
kind
me,
of biased, but
not I will. I guess it could be a little biased, but for me, I definitely would say PG, and only because of this. When he was hurt, the Thunder struggled, so it lets you know how valuable he was to the team. You know
right,
what I'm saying? They struggled defensively, offensively they struggled, and then when he came back, you could tell they're starting to get it going again. I think he's a couple of big game performances. The crazy thing about it is PG still has a chance to get it because I believe we played Toronto twice, we played Golden State twice, we still got to play San Antonio again, and then on top of that, we got a couple more tough games sprinkled in there. I think we play Houston again as well. So he got a couple of statement games in there. If he can make that late push, I think he can get it. But overall, I definitely wouldn't be mad at Giannis, like you said, because of the power ranking and them being number one and being consistent throughout this whole time, especially when a lot of people didn't think that everybody thought the Bucks were bluffing. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I definitely got to give him some love. So I wouldn't be mad. Um, who would you have for rookie of the year? That's been a tough topic right there. A lot of people obviously it's between Luka and Trae Young. You've played against Trae a lot more. Just talk about who you think would have that one.
Yeah, this another tough one. Trey is like real, just like deceptive with his moves. He really is like
Hmm.
quick, shifty, all that. I mean, then he's pulling from deep, so it's like
Yeah.
kind of throws off your game because like you're trying to pick him up like 2 steps above the 3 point line, and he's pulling from 4 steps above the 3 point.
Yeah.
So you like, dang, like I gotta change it up every time I'm guarding him. So
Hmm.
that's always difficult when you're playing against him. But then with Luca, man, I mean he's tough. Like uh, I remember just vividly, we had Bruce on him one time at one extent during the game. Then I went on him.
Hmm.
They went from me being on him, and then we had to put Stanley on because he you got to think about it, he's 6'7", 6'8", can handle the ball like a guard. He real physical. Uh, he's always trying to get to the basket, but at the same time, he'll pull up from deep if he has to. So
Yeah.
uh, I mean, I think that I really think that Trae Young should get the award, but I feel like they're going to give it to Luka because Trae Young, he's like single-handedly put Atlanta back on the map. Like people want to go play for Atlanta now just because of that.
Okay.
And it's like with Luka, I'm assuming people want to play with Luka as well, but at the same time, he's not a point guard. He can't really dominate the ball unless he's hey, look, he's getting it every single time for scores and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nah,
So
I respect that.
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely respect that. I feel the same way as you. I think Trey definitely deserves it. But I know they're gonna give it to Luca. They're going off the numbers, and he's been doing it more consistent over the year.
right.
I think Trey's just now getting adjusted to the game, and he's like, dang it, it's a little too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Make that push. So I think they'll give it to Luca, especially with Luca, getting all those votes for All Star as well. That was something that definitely stood out. So I think they'll definitely give it to Luca on that one. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, and then what about we got MIP and then six man?
Yeah, who you got for six man? Obviously, you got
Yeah,
you got Lou right there. I mean, I
yeah.
can't go wrong with him there.
Tough to go with anybody other than Lou.
I mean, I can definitely say Schroeder, but he's been a little bit inconsistent. He's just now getting back going, but Lou's just been consistent. I mean, that guy's putting up 30 points, 30-point games off the bench at a high rate for the Clippers, man. So I mean, I would definitely give it to him. In
Yeah.
my though, that's an interesting one. I would love to hear who you would have for that.
I think I'm gonna give it to what's his name? Pat was it Pascal?
Oh, you
Pascal?
talking Siakam?
Siakam, yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think we'll get him because he really has been hooping this year. He's been doing his thing.
He has been. He has been. That's a good pick. My pick for that would definitely be D'Angelo Russell.
Okay.
Huge year, All-Star year. Uh, he's putting Brooklyn back on the map, and the thing about it is he's improved his image too. So I think it's just an overall just improvement for him. Because remember with the Lakers with all that stuff, and then you go to Brooklyn, you're trying to find yourself, and then all of a sudden you had this breakout year.
Yep.
I think this was a huge year for him because I think a lot of people are starting to look at him as somebody they can play with, and they're looking at it. They're looking at it like, you know what, he needed to mature. That was an immature moment. Now he's maturing. So I think he should definitely be in consideration for that. For defensive player of the year, who you like for that?
Wow. Oh man, that is real tough.
That's right there. I think.
Yeah, that's the toughest one. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot. I'm trying to think who's been really playing well defensively. I don't know. You give me some ideas.
I'll give you. For me, I think the people that are in the discussion. I think Gobert's in the discussion. I think PG's in the discussion. Um, also, I think that I think Kawhi should still be in the discussion. And another player that I thought did really well defensively, that doesn't really get a lot of credit too, is Giannis. I think Giannis definitely he defends a lot better. He's grown defensively, but I honestly think it could probably go back to Gobert with back to back, in my opinion, because he just swarm. I mean, he's like a vacuum in that paint, man. So
I give him that he is a back, but you got to really get high early enough to get over top of him. If not, it's getting ate up. So yeah, I think it's a good call. It's a good call.
yeah, yep. So that's gonna wrap it up, man. You got anything else you want to talk about NBA wise, bro?
I think we talked about everything. I mean, NBA weekend for All Star was pretty cool. Getting to see Joe Harris winning the 3-point contest with he had an amazing shoot for that night. So I give him kudos to him. And then All Star was a good one. It was a really good one this year. So I mean, hey, I'm glad to see the All Star game finally like getting more competitive, and I give all credit to Giannis and LeBron, because they both were pushing all night to try to win the game. And you can see the game turning throughout the fourth quarter kind of start turning. So it's good to see it like coming back a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, well that wraps it up, bro. Day in our kicks, man. They gotta stay tuned, man. Got a lot more stuff coming for them.
Hey, appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.